Okay, hello. This is part two of my review of every single anime that I watched in winter 2021. It's a couple hours later after I recorded that last part. My voice is somewhat back. I took a couple cough drops, drank a lot of water, so I'm back. Yeah, if you didn't see the first part, it's like 50 minutes long, so go watch that, I guess. This might be a little shorter. I'm not entirely sure. I'm covering more anime this time, but I don't have a big ramble at the beginning. Uh, yeah. I talked. I guess what we're covering today or in this video is both Cells at Works, Horimiya, Scar on the Praeter, Back Arrow, Doctor Ramune, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, One Direct Priority, Waves, Let's Go Surfing, Kemono Jihen, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, Kapibara-san, and With the Dog and the Cat, Every Day is Fun. Okay, so my voice doesn't hurt anymore, but I can still feel it really strained. So I guess let's just start. So my thoughts will be covering kind of is like the story, the characters, the opening and ending, my rating of it, my enjoyment, how I like the comedy, the power system if there was one, and the animation. Yeah, I guess let's just start off right now. Cells at Work. Let's start off with how I rated it. I'm gonna have to refresh that tab because I just had it open the entire time. How did I rate Cells at Work? Okay, so the first season I rated 7.5. Oh wait, no. Okay, so the first season I rated, where is it? Um okay, yeah, so the first season I rated it 7 and the second season I rated it 7.5. It's an interesting anime. Um it's just kind of like a fun watch, I guess. Like it wasn't really like high up on my like watching priority list when I was watching all 2040's anime weekly. It wasn't that interesting, and honestly, Cells at Work Black was way more interesting. I think I guess let's just lump these two together. Um and I have Cells at Work Black rated at 8.8. So like for context, I have uh I don't really have anything rated at 8.8. It's rated 1.1 0.1 higher than Tower of God, and it's right below One Piece Stampede in the first season of My Hero. So like it's pretty decent. A lot better than the uh the main series, I guess. The characters are from Cells at Work are from the original are returned in the second season. They're all pretty cool. It was it. I One of my favorite parts was the where they kind of ambushed that one cell that was from the stomach, I think. So like, yeah, the characters overall returning. Those were all pretty cool. The cancer cell came back. That wasn't really. It wasn't that interesting, you know. Especially when the other cell came in. Like it's hard to say like, oh yeah, it was uninteresting when it's literally like how the body works, you know. But cells that were black was way more interesting because there was actually stakes to it, and um I mean, yeah, like it was just like, and there's actually like tragedy aspects to it, which I really liked. Like it made the series as a whole a lot more interesting. Although at the end, I actually kind of wish the body died because I think that would have been really interesting to see, but that didn't happen. I was really disappointed when I saw the next week preview for that last episode, but I guess that is what it is. It was still a pretty cool episode. I mean, it was still a pretty cool series overall, as I already said. Um, there was a death. If you've watched it, you know who I'm talking about. And I honestly was not expecting it, and so it kind of hit me. Not it didn't hit me that hard, but it was still like, oh my god, that actually happened, you know? Um, Something that was really interesting though, that was like, I've never seen this, like, I was not expecting it, was the red blood cell in cells that work black actually like said, I'm done with this. Like, okay, can cells do that? I'm not sure, but like it was just like a really interesting thing because like I was not expecting that. It was just really interesting to see like that character who's always like really bubbly and like I want to get all my work done, you know, like just like shut down like after that, you know. The white blood cell from Cell that Work Black. Did we really need to do that with their character design? Really? Uh, I wish the macrophages got a little more spotlight because I actually really like them from Cells that Work. Yeah, I wanted them to have more spotlight in both series, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, this overall Cells at Work Black was really good. And Cells at Work, it was okay. It was a series. It wasn't really high up on my priority list of like when I would watch it weekly, but they were a thing. The opening and ending for Cells at Work Black are really good. I love the ending for Cells at Work Black. The opening for Cells at Work season 2 is really good, but the ending sucks so bad. Like I never even bothered to watch it at the end of the episode. Like it's literally just a pan out for a minute and 30 seconds, and it was just I hated it. But yeah, I think that's all I have about Cells at Work. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. The animation was pretty decent on both, though. I will give them that. Horimiya. Okay, so like I was not expecting to like this as much as I did, and I know it. I've heard. I don't know because I haven't read the manga, but I plan on it. I heard that it adapted 100 chapters. I don't know if that's correct or not, but 100 chapters in 13 episodes. That's bad. That's really bad. Uh, but all the characters are really good. Like I don't know if I've talked about it on the channel before, but I really do not like romance anime. So like the fact that this one caught my attention and I like the characters a lot, especially Hori. Like usually like the main reason I don't like romance is because like the female characters are really like uninteresting in my opinion. People are gonna get mad at me for that, but Hori was a genuinely like interesting character, and I liked seeing like her character progression as well as every single other character's progression, like with Toru and with Yuki and with not Sakura. Sakura's on the green hair. I forget what the girl with the pink hair is, but Sengoku and the girl with the pink hair, uh, like just like all of their romances, and like I love Toru so much, and I love Izumi or uh Miyamura. Yeah, Miyamura. I love him too so much. Like there's like so many good characters from this anime, like for real. And like yeah, I at the end though, I did notice like the effect of like adapting 100 chapters. Like the ending didn't really feel right, you know? Like there's just something that felt off about it, and then I heard, oh yeah, 100 chapters. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, like the ending wasn't that good, but like I feel like they did a really good job with like the character interactions and like developing the characters, I guess. Like something that can really carry an anime in my opinion is the characters. um I feel that strongly for My Hero actually. I do not think My Hero would be as big as it is if it were not for like the characters and the fan base, like in the fanon, like that has become from My Hero. But like character interaction is everything for me on personally. So like there's a lot of different character interactions for characters that didn't really even have to interact, you know? Like they all became like a really tight knit group, and I really like that. I really want to read the manga now, but I just don't have time. I read all of Jujutsu Kaisen like a couple days ago, so like I'm still really tired from that. I haven't even gotten started on reading or on watching Moriarty the Patriot, so I haven't even gotten started on that. But yeah. Um, My rating of it is, I think it's 9.6. I'm not sure. Let me check. 9.5. Okay, yeah. I think I had it at 9.6 when the ending made it go to 9.5. I'm looking at my Annie list right now. Follow me there if you haven't already, because it's a really cool and sexy website. Um, yeah, and the opening and ending, I hate the ending so much. Um, it's literally a mobile game ad. But the opening, like at first, I think in my reaction to the opening, I said like it looks like it's trying to be as, I think I said like it's trying to be as alternative as it can, and it's failing miserably. And I still do kind of think that, but when the second, like halfway through the series, and it went like to like a second version, it improved significantly. I think. There wasn't really, or like it, like all it changed was like this, like the visuals for a couple of scenes, but like it improved it a lot in my opinion. I do really like the song actually, but yeah, the animation was really good too. And the comedy in Horimiya is just so good. Like when the stuff started with Hori being a masochist, that was like the most I had laughed at an anime in like so long. So like it's just a really fun and like comedic series. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. And like all the relationships are just like really cute and just like I ship them, you know? And it's really rare that I actually do that, you know? So yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It was really cool. But on to the next two anime that I'm actually not too positive of. Let's start off with Scar on the Praeter. In premise, it's really cool, but for some reason the story just isn't that interesting. You know, like everything about it, like the animation is like really good. Like the animation style of like how they draw the characters isn't that good, but the like the character, like how they draw the characters, like with the big eyes and stuff, like I don't like that. But like how they draw like the cities and like the guns and the swords are all 3D modeled, and I'm pretty sure like all of the cities are like actual like photos or artworks or something. Like it's like really beautiful, but the story is just kind of uninteresting, you know. Yeah, I mean like the opening's pretty cool, but the ending's just like doesn't really do anything. uh I do really like, let me get up the names of the characters really quick. I do really like Jin Kurase, or Karasu, the dude that's always watching anime. I really like him, and I do really like Sakashima, the dude with the long white hair. He's really cool, but it felt like, oh, I need to talk about that. The ending. He was cool, but it was just kind of like all over the place, and it was an okay anime, but like I fell behind a couple of weeks, like some weeks. So I was just like I just didn't feel like watching it because it was just kind of uninteresting. And you know, for some reason, the story gives me vibes because like before I had this big anime phase, I had a big book phase, and you can see that by that bookshelf. It's like five shelves. The Rat Cage is on one of them, but like there's just all books like Hardy Boys, 39 Clues, Percy Jackson, um, Maze Runner, King Chronicles, Divergent, what else? Narnia, like everything, like that I've had that I used to be obsessed with. But for some reason it reminds me a lot of the Legend series. I do not have the first two books, but I do have the third one, I think. Champion. Uh, yeah, it goes Legend, and the second book's Prodigy, and the third book is Champion. And for some reason, it just reminds me a lot of that, like of just like the setting, I guess, because like it's an abandoned city, not an abandoned city, but it's like a city that's like abandoned by the government, but it also has its own like hierarchy and stuff. Like it just reminds me a lot of that. But yeah, like overall, oh, I need to talk about that. Yeah, so like spoilers for the ending. There's a dude that dies. I forget his name. I never cared enough. He dies in the first episode, becomes a huge plot point, and he comes back in the finale. I was like, oh yeah, he never died. and I felt really cheaped out by that. Like so cheaped out. So like my rating, I think it fell like maybe even a whole point. Um, not gonna lie. So where do I even have it rated right now? It's pretty far down there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have it rated lower than I'm standing on 1 million lives. So yeah, I have it rated 6.5. And so like for context, I have it like in the middle of like Seven Deadly Sins season 1 and 2, and like a little bit above high, Daily Lives of High School Boys. So like it's not that good. It's really not, but there's something about it that made me stick around. I think it's just like the production and the plot, I guess. Like the plot wasn't intriguing, but it still retained my interest with all different characters and point of views that I was able to bring. So it was okay, but I would not recommend it. Um, Next anime, Back Arrow. Um, in premise, it's really cool, but in actuality, for some reason, it's really not. It's really not. The animation isn't that good. Or I mean, the animation isn't bad, but it's not. I don't like the style of it, if that makes sense. The characters, I do like Back Arrow and Shu. Those are like two of my only favorite characters. I do like the princess too, but like everything else just feels like cliche, and like I've seen this before. It's kind of boring, so it's just kind of like it's not all that. It's my first mecha anime though, so maybe that's telling me why I. So maybe that's like it is my first mecha anime though, so it might be like telling me that I don't like mecha anime, but I still like I'm watching 86, I think, this season. And I think it's a mecha anime, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I have Back Arrow rated 4.7. But for some reason I'm still watching it and I don't know why. It's just I'm so like invested in some of the characters that I just can't put it down. And I never drop a series. Like, let me see, I only have two series dropped, and that's Fairy Tale and the second to last season of Seven Deadly Sins, because that season sucks. But yeah, I mean, the the power system of like conviction seems really cool, but it's just like it becomes everything about the power system that is just like then it's like a wizard did it. So I really don't like it. The opening and ending were actually really good. They were decent, and new opening and ending are pretty decent too. But overall, it's just like it's not that good. I would not recommend it at all. I mean, there's some people who genuinely like it that I have seen, but it's just not that interesting, like at all. Kind of. It's just it's a thing, but I'm still watching it for some reason. But yeah. Okay, so next anime, Dr. Ramune, Mysterious Disease Specialist. Okay, so this one was kind of interesting. It reminded me of a cross between The Spoke Kushibi Rohan and Totally Bound Tanako-kun. It reminded me of a perfect cross between those two. And it was pretty interesting with like the how like stress can bring about like real diseases, but also like mysterious diseases. Um, and it made me like characters that I initially didn't like with the series, like Curl Pete. Wait, no. Aona or Aona, I think. Yeah, Aona. Um, like with the guy with the blue hair and the eyes, I hated him just from his design. But after like two episodes of like his story, like I actually genuinely liked him. And like even though like I tend not to like episodic animes, this one still kind of retained my interest a little bit. With Nico Ni and the grandma, they were pretty cool characters, and of course Dr. Ramune, he was pretty cool too. The teacher, I don't really care much too much about him because he got introduced later on. But then Kureno or Kure, he's pretty cool. He had like I like how they ended the series with him, like his story, which is really cool. The opening and ending were pretty cool too. It was just kind of like telling a story, I guess, of like or wrapping up the story. Like the ending was all about Kuro and Ramune. So it was pretty cool. like as far as episodic animes go, it was more than decent. What did I have it rated? Um, let's see. Oh, I actually rated it way higher than I thought it would. I'm actually gonna knock that down to 8.4, I think. But yeah, it was 8.5. I just knocked it down to 8.4 just now. But yeah, it was pretty decent. You should check it out, I guess, if you have the time. But yeah. Next up, uh, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I did react to that, so you kind of have all my thoughts in those reactions. But yeah, like my favorite characters are Rimuru, Benimaru, Rigor. I don't care about Gobota. I rated the second core, or I rated the first core. What did I rate it? I rated it 9.4. So yeah, it's pretty decent. Or it's more than decent. It's really good, and I really like the story. But like a lot of the times, it's like they introduce so many characters that like when they reintroduce, it's just like who are they? You know. The opening and ending are pretty good. The opening's really good. The ending. I never actually really watched the ending that many times, but yeah, it was really enjoyable, especially like the later episodes, like huge fight, and the comedy is pretty cool. Yeah, the power system. I talked about it in there a little bit, I think, in my reactions, but like I don't like it was kind of like a wizard did it, but like they kind of just throw powers around a lot. But it is an isekai in a video game like world, so like I'm not gonna really go off too much about it. Story's pretty good. I've already said all my favorite characters. Animation was really good, but yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about it because like I've have 12 episode reactions about it. So yeah, I am watching Slime Diaries too. I just recorded the opening reaction today. I did watch the episode too, so that should be up earlier than this actually, probably because this is like hours of footage I need to go through. But yeah, Wonder Egg priority. Okay, so this certainly had the priority of Cloverworks, but it was really good up until like those second to last and last episodes. You know, like I really liked the backstory of Frill and the two guys, the two mannequin guys. It was a really interesting backstory. I was not expecting it. Like the uh, sound will forever traumatize me now. And the animation was really good until the last episode. Like they just blew it all on the last episode. And like maybe it's just like I'm too smooth brain to really comprehend all of what happened in the last episode, but it was just like all over the place and like it was just like a mess, you know, like with the two eyes, and it was just like really weird, and the animation was not that good in the episode anyway. But yeah, I mean the animation was really good and it covered so many subjects that like so many people are really afraid to not like yeah talk about but also like really bring up in general. um yeah, like I love all the characters. I love Rika. I and I should know her. Momoe, Sawaki, I think her name is. I have a friend who's like obsessed with her. But yeah, I mean like the whole like concept of like the anime was really good, but it failed on like the last like part, you know? Like during as I was watching it, I think I had it at like 9.7, 9.8, and then like when it really picked up like around like Momo like her like Momoe like her like arc like in the towards like the later half of the middle, I put it at 10 out of 10 because it was like at that point it was 10 out of 10, but then it just fell and crashed and burned and now it's 9.5 only because of all of the greatness it had before the ending. So yeah, I do have it 9.5, right? Yeah, I do have it 9.5. The opening is really good. Like the animation in the opening and just the entire series in general until like like the ending, it's just perfect, you know? My dog's stretching out on the bed. Um, Everything about this series was really good up until the end. I actually really did like the yeah, I did say I really liked the backstory with Frill and everything, but like they had too much on their plate, and I think the stuff with Promised Neverland and Horimiya was affecting them because like all the bad reviews and stuff. I think there's an OVA coming out, or it's no, it's a TV special. I think that's coming out next like 3 months from now. I think that should be like wrapping the story up in its entirety, but like that kind of killed the hype, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. It was an okay series, or it was a great and amazing series up until the end. So yeah, um, I think I only have like three more series to seriously talk about. I've only been going on for 26 minutes, so yeah. Wave Let's Go Surfing. It was not as good as I thought it would be. Honestly. The animation was decent. I was not expecting um like some of the events that happened, like a character's death. I was not expecting that. Um I should I'll edit in a disclaimer for spoilers at the beginning of both these parts. But like, yeah, overall, it was just like an okay anime. Like, I know it's movies before, but like, it wasn't that good as I thought it would be. Like, it was really hyped up for like a long time, and then like we got like all the characters and like the PVs, and it was like this is gonna be like a really good anime. Like, this could rival Free, and then like it just didn't. It was not that good, honestly. It was still good, but it just was not as good as I think the hype of it was, and how like my personal expectations were of it. The opening ending were pretty good. I think there's different opening endings for the movies. But yeah, it was still really good. I'm looking at my laptop and I should be looking at the camera. I'm sorry about that. If that's like weirding you out. Yeah, the story of it was nothing special. The characters, I was not like I was actually really surprised by this because I thought like all the characters were gonna be like really like intact. I thought like it was gonna be like we had like the three main ones. We had Corgi. I can't remember their names. Corgi, the Hawaiian dude, and Sho. And then we got. I thought that all the other characters were going to be like antagonists, but no, they weren't. They were actually like genuine like main character friends, and I was actually really surprised by that. It was really cool. Um, yeah, like the animation was okay. Like they used 3D models for actually a lot of it, and it's actually really good. Wasn't expecting that. Like I know some people might not have liked that, but I honestly did. It was pretty cool. My favorite characters were where are they? Iwana, the black hair and the red eyes and stuff, and Bill. Yeah, the rich dude. Those two are my favorite characters. I like Bill. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, yeah. I really like the use of the hot tub scene, or not the spa scenes or whatever. Those were kind of cool. Um, but yeah, and on to the second to last main series anime, I guess. I'm talking about. Oh wait, no, I didn't say what I rated it. What did I rate it? I rated it 8.4. So yeah, the same as One Piece Film Gold and Doctor Ramune. So yeah, um, yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. So on to the next one, Kemono Jihen, and I didn't intend on watching this one this season. There's a lot of anime I didn't intend on watching this season. I think, um, let me see, what are the ones I didn't intend on watching? I was not expecting to watch Doctor Mune, Wonder Egg, Kemono Jihen, or Mushoku Tensei. So those are like four anime I was not expecting to watch, but I ended up watching. So like they're all pretty cool. But yeah, we're talking about Kemono Jihen. It was pretty good, honestly. A lot of the characters are really good. I love Shiki. He's my favorite character. Um, like I do like the little feud between Inugami and the nine-tailed the Kitsune girl. I forget her name, but I really liked their feud, and I didn't like the two other Fox people. I have them on my favorites list, I think. Where is he? Um, yeah, like the dude with the headphones and stuff. He was really cool, and the other girl, I forget her name. She was pretty cool too. I also really did like Kabane, and the vampire dude, and Akira and Akira's brother. They were all pretty cool characters. Not gonna lie. Uh, as for the story, it looks like it's gonna be really good. I've heard good things about the manga too, but I don't think I want to read the manga, and I just kind of want to keeping it anime only because it didn't announce the second season, but it kind of set itself up for a second season, you know. Um, but yeah, I mean the opening and ending were really good. I'm so glad they finally put them on YouTube like officially. Um, I really enjoyed it. The comedy was pretty cool. I like the power system of like even though like Kabane is like basically invincible, he's not too OP, you know? It's probably, well, I mean, he's not only 12 and he's kind of not that like invested in fights most of the time. The animation was really good too. Yeah, what did I have it rated? I rated it 8.8, so the same as Souls at Work Black, and the same as like A3, Autumn and Winter, and stuff like that. So yeah. What else do I have to talk about that? Not a lot. I mean, it was a really cool series, but I do kind of wish the characters were a little older because like they were all like 12, I think. So I think it'd be more interesting if they were all a little older, you know. I didn't like the plotline with Chiki's sister though. I think that was kind of cool, and his mom. That was like it was really interesting, and that was like I think where I had gotten caught up. I think. Wait, no, where I got caught up with it was that scene or when they were in the mosquito place or whatever. Yeah, that was the episode I got caught up on. But yeah. And so next we have Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. I don't have good things to say about this really. What did I have it rated? I had it rated like this honestly could have been like 9 and above. Like it honestly could have been if it was not for like the main character. Honestly, like that was my I have it rated 9.8, and honestly, it should be lower if it was not for the animation. Um, like the perviness of the main character really turned me off of the anime because I had seen like clips, but they were all from the first episode, I guess. So I thought it was like a continuing thing throughout the entire series, and the characters are all really cool. But like when he made the move on the girl the red hair with the red hair, when he made the move on her, I was just like that was when I was like, I'm done with this, you know. I did finish it though. Just like the fact that like a 40-year-old man in a 10-year-old's body attempts to do it with a 12-year-old girl, that did not sit well with me, you know. So that's why it's so low of a rating. But other than that, like the characters and the story is really good though. Not gonna lie, if it was not for like all of that, it would honestly probably be around like 9.3, 9.4. Like honestly. I can't. I kind of. I really want to see the second season, like just for the story, but like all of the aspects of like the perviness and stuff. Like I just really, I'm not here for it, you know. But other people are like, no, you can't blame him because he's a 40-year-old man. He reincarnated, so like it's not really his fault. But it's like he attempted to do it with a 12-year-old girl, so it's like I'm not comfortable with that, you know. But yeah, it didn't even have an opening, but I did like how it would do like the opening song, like or like an opening song, yeah, but like with like a time lapse basically of like some events happening. The end like the sec like not the second half, but like the later arc or whatever, like the later parts of it where they meet Spigard, the dead end guy. Like that was all like really good and really interesting. I can't wait to see where that goes. So it looks like it's gonna be really interesting. But like yeah, all those parts about it, like really turned me off. I guess about the perviness. I need to stop going on about that though. Um, yeah, I already talked about my enjoyment and my rating. The ending was really good though, like the anime ending. Yeah, and the power system was really cool too. I did really like. Okay, so like I do really like the whole like he knows like he's conscious throughout that entire time, and like he learned how to like do spells and stuff at, like the age of like 3 or 4. And I really like how Roxy was just like, oh, it's just some parent who thinks her kid's a genius, but he really was. You know, I think that was all like really interesting. I did really like the animation of all like the water spells and stuff. Like it was just a really cool anime, but like it just kind of fell off for me, especially because of all of that. You know, but yeah. That's all I have to say. Like the animation, the characters were all in the story. It's all really good. Like 9 out of 10 probably for all of those. But it's just like that. It just crashed and burned for the like because of the perviness for me. Yeah. Um, so on to two anime that I watched later on. Like halfway through the anime season. Kapibara-san and With the Dog and a Cat Every Day is Fun. So these are gonna be like really short reviews. They're TV shorts, so they're not allowed to talk about. Kapibara-san, I have it rated like 2 out of 10. It's not that good. Even like I couldn't even imagine like being like really young and watching it. It was just really boring. Um, but With the Dog and a Cat Every Day is Fun, on the other hand, was complete gold. I think I have it rated like 8 point something. Like it was amazing. Where is it? I had it rated like a 9.2, I think, early on. Yeah, it's 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. And it's just really interesting for me, especially because I have a dog and I have a cat who's somewhere in the house. I also have 2 rats. So it's like, it was a really interesting and fun series for me because like I own both like dog and a cat, and it's just like, oh yeah, they interact that way. It's like hilarious. Like the cat wants nothing to do with you, but the dog's like always all over you. Like I think it was just like a really like relation to like it was like directly related to my life, and it was just like amazing. Like and like the storytelling of uh that of with the dog and a cat every day is fun. It was just really good. But yeah, um, yeah, it was just amazing. I want to rewatch it because it was really funny. Like the comedy aspects are just like 10 out of 10, like 11 out of 10 maybe too. Like it was just hilarious. But yeah, I think that concludes my anime review. I think the first part is like 50 minutes, and this part is about to be 40 minutes. So yeah, I mean, this is all my thoughts. I don't really have a lot else to say. This was a crazy anime season, and like now that we're like in spring, it's just like now what, you know? My voice is already my throat's already hurting again. But yeah, I mean, this anime season it was really crazy, and I I think like a year from now or so, we're gonna get like another really big anime season because of all like the season twos and stuff we're gonna be getting. But yeah, it was a really good anime season. But yeah, it's like now that we're in spring, so it's like now what? But I am watching some other anime. I'm not gonna list all of them right now because I still need to make my new intro video. Like when you pop on my channel, like what it's like that with the Wii music and stuff like that. I still need to make that. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm recording these all on Tuesday, so expect these late Wednesday, maybe Thursday, Friday. I don't know. It's gonna take me a while to edit these. So yeah. I guess I'll just see you guys next time, and bye.